Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Ken, and today we're here to review the new Zach Cregger directed horror film, Weapons.
Weapons.
The same guy that directed Barbarian, which I think we reviewed on the channel, and we both quite enjoyed that film.
We did, yeah.
So this is his follow-up, and we saw this in the theaters yesterday. We are going to give you our thoughts on the film, and we're going to try to be as non-spoiler as possible, but there are things that we need to talk about here that some could consider spoilers. So I do want to kind of give you all that heads up. But before we get into it, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We review movies, we talk movies, TV, all kinds of entertainment stuff on this channel. If you like that kind of stuff, that kind of content, hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
Also,
like the video.
Like the video, like she said. And then comment down below, did you see Weapons? I mean, we're about a week late to the party on this one. So
typical.
If you've seen it, you got thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. So I'll start with you as always.
Yep.
Initial thoughts.
Yeah, so
Weapons.
I feel like this movie has definitely received a lot of praise.
Yeah, for sure.
This was a movie that we were both excited to see anyway, even before the praise started coming out.
Yeah, had a really good trailer, interesting premise. Like I said, director of Barbarian. Really like that film, so yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, I enjoyed the movie, but I'm not quite sure that I don't know. I'm a little like conflicted with it. It's not quite. I don't know. It fell a little bit short for me, especially when it came with like the reveal, the grand reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I've been thinking about the movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I really did, but I don't want to say it fell short. Like, I thought it was a good movie, and I think if you're going into the film with an expectation of this is a masterpiece, best of the 2020s, the hype train that everybody wants to throw out there, you could be let down. But overall, I was satisfied with the movie. I liked the way the story was told, kind of like split up between like the perspectives of the different people.
Yeah, which I feel like is pretty common now.
It's common. It's been used. That's the thing about this film. To me, it felt original. But, like, no one piece or part of the movie is original. It's all, like, derived from other genres and movies from the past. But I feel like the way Cregger kind of, like, blended everything together felt original. Like, the movie itself felt original to me.
Yeah, it, no doubt it was a well-made film. And, again, for the most part, I enjoyed it. But when it came to the reason that these children disappeared, it just didn't quite like what's
Click.
the word? It just didn't. It clicked, but it was just kind of a little underwhelming. I just wish that it had been a different reason.
Really? I didn't have a problem with the reason. I didn't have a problem with any of the reveals. Also, I will say the way that the movie is structured, it kind of reveals things like halfway through. But it keeps like giving you, it gives you a piece, and then it kind of opens up further questions that kind of keeps you engaged. So I thought the movie was very engaging throughout. Like, I constantly just wanted to know like what was going to happen next. And I thought that, I don't know, I thought structurally like everything made sense, like within the context of the movie. Like, there are supernatural elements at play here.
Yeah.
But everything made sense. I like the way everything worked together and the way that everything unraveled.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done in that way.
Yeah, I mean, again, going back to the reveal, I guess, the reason why these children disappeared that night.
Yeah. Which they open up the film with.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed how it opened. This was in one of the trailers that came out, but I enjoyed having, I think it was like a little girl like narrating it.
Yeah.
She was just kind of like telling a little story. And then, I mean, essentially like the whole movie was like she was telling us a story. Like, it starts with her like narrating it, and then like it quits with her narration, but it's still like she was telling us what happened, because then at the end she comes back again to kind of conclude the story.
Yeah, and I don't remember Did they ever make it clear, like, was she supposed to be one of the kids that was missing, or just like a
No.
kid in the class or in the school?
Yeah, I think that she was just a kid in the school.
It kind of felt like this like urban legend type thing where she was like telling the story of what happened in this town. You
Right.
know?
And I can't remember if they said or not either, but, who knows like how much time has passed. Because I can't
Yeah.
remember if she was like, this happened last summer or this happened, it could have happened, like you said, like an
Yeah, I mean,
urban.
it could have been a decade ago or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy, the little girl like narrating it because even though like she sounded, like sweet or whatever, there's something just like a little creepy about this like little kid narrating this
Yeah.
spooky story. So yeah. As far as I will kind of go into like performances. So I will say, going into this, we like haven't necessarily been the highest on Julia Garner. Is that her name?
Yeah, I mean, she was great in Ozark.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
But
what you didn't see Fantastic Four, she was pretty good in that. But it's more or less, kind of. I don't feel like she was required to have a lot of range in that, though.
yeah. So I will say that although I was, hesitant to see her in this movie, I thought she was fine. I didn't, hate her or anything. So
No, no, she was good for. There was some weird things with her character like early on.
yeah.
That I wasn't like just some like tonal inconsistencies. I didn't feel like she would act the way she was acting in certain moments.
Well, without like trying to spoil anything, I don't even know if this would spoil anything, but I don't know if you're talking about like some inconsistencies with like her character. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I don't feel like it's a spoiler, but like she's a teacher, and when she's not at school, she basically is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And that to me, like, I get that that's probably like real, like that's realistic. There probably are teachers out there who, have problems outside of school. But for me, it's like when she was at school, she just seemed like one of those more like wholesome teachers or something.
Yeah.
And so to find out that like outside of school, she was kind of a mess, I don't know. It was a little
And
like.
also, was it ever? I don't know if it was ever answered like if that was how she had always been, or was that a result of what had happened to the kids?
Right.
Which I could get it if that was a result of what happened to the kids, but they don't really ever answer that. I don't feel
That's
like.
true. I mean, you could assume that it was like a new thing, but I don't know.
She seemed like a professional at it, though.
I feel like it was not a new thing for her, because there's like she has this like romance going on a little bit, and he's kind of a mess too, and so I know that he goes to meetings like.
That was kind of my problem. I just didn't think that her relationship with the cop was totally necessary, and some of those aspects of their
Right.
relationship I just thought felt a little out of place early on.
Yeah, I would agree. Probably not necessary. I think maybe though those like character flaws were put there though to make you not be sure if she really did have something to do with the children's disappearance.
Yeah, that
like,
could be true.
I think that that's why that was there, because you're
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, she's not the greatest person, so maybe she is, in the reason that these kids disappeared. So
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
yeah. So then we had Josh Brolin. He's kind of playing this
He's the
fired up dad
yeah.
that looks like a grandpa. I'm like, he is way too old to be playing a parent of a elementary school student.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
And I thought he was good. He was clearly like this movie's very inspired by past child abduction movies. I think one of those is Prisoners,
Which I
directed
haven't
by
seen.
Denis Villeneuve. So he's very much playing like the Hugh Jackman type dad character. He wants to take the law into his own hands because the police aren't really doing as much as he thinks that they should be
Yeah.
to find the kids. It's just I don't know. I don't feel like the movie And I think it's just because that's not really the point of this film, and Zach Cregger was interested in exploring like different things. But they don't really like, I don't know, go into like the trauma of it as much. I don't feel like they flesh out these characters as much as I think it's required for this type of material
Like,
to like really help you invest in like what's going on.
yeah, I mean, we do get the scene that is in the trailer where they're at like a town meeting or something,
Yeah.
and like the parents are kind of like,
I kind of wanted more of that because I feel like they had that and then everything just kind of split up between the individual stories, which I like the way that it was told, but I just feel like I don't feel like I got a good grasp on like what this had done to the town and like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was just it would have been, it was 17 kids in total, so I guess it just would have been like way too many families to
Yeah, I mean,
explore or whatever. But
yeah, I mean,
I
didn't
see
need,
what you're saying.
Yeah, I didn't need like every family, like the story told or whatever, but I don't know, there was just something missing.
Well, so there was one family, like Josh Brolin's character is like, like you said, he's trying to like solve it himself or whatever,
Yeah.
and so he goes to a family, and we actually saw Justin Long.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise cameo, but
He's playing like a dad, but he's literally in it for like a blip of time. And so anyway, to me, like that one particular family, it's like they don't even seem that upset that their kid's missing.
Yeah, that's just my problem. It's like you would think there would be
They were
a
just
greater
kinda
sense
like-
of community, and she would have been more open to showing him the ring footage
Yeah.
of her kid running away. And that was just weird to me that she was like, no, absolutely not. Because it's like she knows him and she knows his kid's missing too.
Mm-hmm.
It was just strange that she wasn't more open to that. And it just
Yeah.
felt like everybody was so distant, and like you said, nobody really cared. Even though like that they care, but it's just the movie doesn't do a good enough job of really like.
The emotional aspect of it didn't really translate, I don't think.
Yeah. But again, I don't. By the time you get to the end of the movie, maybe that just wasn't the point, or maybe he just wasn't interested in exploring that type of stuff to that level of depth.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
He wasn't interested in making a prisoners type movie, because the movie does go into the more supernatural area,
Mm-hmm.
and it turns into more of a traditional, just outlandish, out there horror film.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff that it does towards the end, which I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know, like, okay, before I forget, I do want to do a little, a little shout out to this, but like you said, we do get, like, is it like, I can't remember how many people, but we get so many people's, like, perspectives, and they're all happening at the same time, right? Yeah. And so there's one guy, and I don't know what his name is. I've seen him in some stuff.
Austin Abrams.
Okay,
the druggy kid.
Yeah, the drug kid. So there's a character in here played by him, and honestly, he might have been my favorite part. Like, he was just so.
He has the most laughs.
He was so funny. He's again playing this like drug out, homeless character, and. He kind of gets involved in the kids missing and stuff, and I don't know, there was just one particular scene where I was just dying laughing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that was.
It comes along with like the big reveal, I guess, of the movie.
Yeah.
And then and the fact that reveal is kind of played for laughs like 2 minutes later, I think is why it's so funny.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that definitely doesn't really help with like the emotional part of it, but like again, if that's not what you're going for, then that's not what you're going for.
I think that's all it is. I think that some of my problems with this movie might be fixed when I rewatch it. And again, like feels like we're talking about this very negatively, but I really enjoyed the movie, like overall.
Yeah.
But there's just little things that I feel like kept it from being elevated to that like 4.5, 5-star territory, which a lot of people are saying this is one of the best horror films of the 2020s, of the 21st century, of the decade, whatever.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not that high. I would still put Barbarian above this, honestly.
Gotcha.
But it might go up, as I rewatch it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know, like, kind of to conclude this or not, but I don't know, like. What can we say about the reveal? I mean, is there anything that you want to say about that, or?
I would leave it kind of ambiguous. Overall, like everything as far as like reveals and the direction of the story and where everything went, I was very satisfied with it because it all made sense and they connected everything. And yeah, they set up a lot of stuff, and I feel like they paid it all off. And there really wasn't anything that was unanswered. I wasn't really unsatisfied by anything.
Well, that's not true. That's not true because
well, maybe a few things. I don't know.
When we left, you said that they didn't really explain, like, again, it's hard to talk about it.
Well, when you get into the details of the supernatural stuff and magic and how all that stuff works, you can always just explain it by saying, well, it's magic. Who cares? But there were a couple of things I was like, well, how does that work? How does that work? That had to do with like the more like supernatural elements. But overall, as far as like a story and the writing and how everything was set up and the mystery, I felt like all that was paid off very well. I thought the writing was very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, again, I've already said this about being like a little disappointed with the reveal, like about like what happened to these kids, or like,
And I can understand that. Like, I can understand
like,
that, sure.
I don't know. I think that it just felt like almost pretty like standard. I don't know. Like, it didn't seem like I was expecting like this really like unique, different, I don't know. I was just like thinking of something different for what happened to the kids. And so whenever we got what it was, I was just kind of like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like the last 5 to 10 minutes was very satisfying. Were you not satisfied by that?
Well, again,
like the big moments.
Yeah, but again, it was comical. Like, it was funny.
Well, it wasn't, but that's kind of his style,
And I mean, I won't spoil anything, but there's like a scene with like a horde of children. So
yeah. Well, I mean, think how crazy like Barbarian got in the second half. Like, that got nuts. But I will say that this movie, Barbarian's got an extreme like tonal shift in the middle of it.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't really ever have a tonal shift. I feel like it's kind of the same tone throughout. It just has a bunch of perspective shifts.
Yeah.
That kind of change the dynamic of the story and how it's told. Whereas Barbarian, like, it has a perspective shift as well, but like the tone changes with it, which is a little jarring. This movie doesn't really have that. So if you didn't love Barbarian because of that, I think that you'll enjoy this movie a lot more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a hard movie to talk about. I would say, like, if you haven't seen it, like, go into it like knowing as little as possible. Maybe you'll be satisfied, maybe you won't. I don't know. Overall, I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about it?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, overall, in conclusion, I am still very interested in this director, what he has coming next. I think he's maybe one of the more exciting voices in horror we have right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our review of Weapons. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Also, leave us your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.